You are listening to One Happy Podcast, episode 56.
For anyone to let us know whether we should do Screaming Eagle, Lazy Turtle, the restaurant at Tierra del Sol, Azuro, or Daniel's. Please help us because we just can't decide.
You can already see which way I'm leaning, but whatever you guys decide, that's what we'll go. One Happy Podcast, the officially unofficial podcast of the island of Aruba. As always, I'm your host, Curtis Robinson, a.k.a. Aruba Kurt.
And I'm Maggie May. That's my
love that song.
Favorite name.
Yes,
Maggie May. Everybody knows me by that.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, Maggie May.
Thank you, Aruba Kurt.
Yes, I want to thank you guys all for downloading and listening to this latest episode of the podcast, which is going to be an incredible one because this is the last in our 5-part series detailing how we plan our trip to Aruba.
Yes, that means 1 week till we're in Aruba. Yay!
Well, not exactly, because it's 1 week and 1 day until we're in Aruba.
Okay.
But 1 week from tonight, we'll be in Baltimore.
That's true.
Yes, so we'll be staying at the Sheraton.
Yes, that's where we love to stay.
That's right. That's our old stomping grounds. So what we do is we do the Park Sleep Fly, which is when you drive down to the hotel, you park your car, stay the night, you leave early in the morning to arrive at the airport so that you can fly down to Aruba nice and refreshed.
Right, and they take you there. You don't have to worry about it. You keep your car in their parking lot, and it's safe for the week, 2 weeks, however long you want. Yeah. Yeah, and they take good care of us down there. I mean, we've tried other establishments down there. We've tried the Best Western. We've tried the Ramada. We've tried a couple other places. For me, the Sheraton is top-notch. The Westin, which is in conjunction with the Sheraton, but we still go back to the Sheraton.
Yes, they use the same shuttle. The Westin was slightly more expensive.
It was.
But for me, the Sheraton's where it's at.
Right.
Love it. So what we do for our routine is we drive down there and we stop at
G&M's.
Yes. G&M for crab cakes. Now, when you look at crab cakes in Baltimore, so many places say that they've had the best crab cakes in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So you don't know how to find out who's true and who's not. But G&M has great reviews on TripAdvisor.
They do. That's why we went there in the first place.
And they haven't disappointed us yet, so we keep returning.
No. Lots of lump crab meat right there from Baltimore.
Yes. Now, they do have some filling on their crab cakes, but to me, it's the right amount, and the crab cakes are huge. So if you're flying out of BWI, give G&M's a try.
Yeah. Especially if you're staying at the Sheraton. It's only a couple minutes away.
Exactly. That's why we do it. Now, this podcast episode is going to be all about our itinerary, basically. We're going to be talking about where we're eating, what we're doing, all that stuff.
Right. Because before we go, I always like to create an itinerary so we know exactly what we're doing, when we're going there, and what days we're doing it.
Yes, and I hate that itinerary that she tries to create. So my job is to try and break that itinerary.
But honestly, making the itinerary is the best idea. I mean, really, honestly, today we spent a little while working on the itinerary, and I've discovered that actually the best way to start is to actually build everything else around the restaurant.
Yes, because I love the restaurants, first of all. And second of all, I mean, where you eat is important on vacation. Let's be realistic. It's about where you're staying and where you're eating.
Right.
So for me, it's all about the restaurants. Now, to be completely transparent, this is the second time that we've recorded this episode. The first one got erased, and as we speak right now, I'm looking to make sure that it's actually recording, and it is, so we're good to go. But so what we're going to do is we're going to start by detailing the list of restaurants that we have to go off of.
Right. And honestly, when we did the itinerary and we started listing the restaurants, things kind of got changed around based on when we could actually do the restaurant.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
You want to explain what I mean?
Yes, because we have some other things that are built in for the trip. We have certain things that are scheduled for certain nights. Like, for instance, the ARF benefit, the Aruba Pause for a Cause, which is taking place at the Tierra del Sol restaurant. That's the Friday night that we're going to be there.
Friday night, July 15th, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So that being said, we will be there until around 8 p.m.
Exactly. It takes place from what, 6 to 8 or
5 to 8.
5 to 8, okay.
So we needed to find a restaurant to eat after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that played a part in what we chose when we chose it. Also, our first night, we have plans.
Yes, because we're going to be going to Aruba Ray's Comedy, which is...
Yay!
It's the best way to spend the night in Aruba. So if you're in Aruba up until July 21st...
See you at the show!
That's what Aruba Ray said. But no, seriously, you can check out... you can go to the comedy show by going to arubacomedy.com to pick up tickets. Or you can go to the Marriott and check it out there. It's the Marriott Stellaris. You can pick up tickets right before the show starts. But if it was me, I would pick them up at arubacomedy.com.
And if you happen to be there on the 12th or the 19th of July... We'll see you at the show.
Assuming they're not sold out before we get there.
Not.
Hopefully not. If not, then you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stand in the back and probably be made fun of. But let's get back to the restaurants, okay? Let's just list them off first before we get in depth on any of them.
Okay, so the first night, because we're going to the comedy show, we needed to pick a restaurant that provided late dining hours.
Right, because the comedy show is not over until 10 o'clock.
We chose Bingo's.
Bingo's, yes.
We've actually wanted to go there quite a few times, but we've just never been able to fit it in. And because we needed to eat somewhere late, we figured this would be the perfect place.
Exactly, and I've heard great things about Bingo's. I've heard that I'm a local store guy when it comes to the burger, right?
Yeah, they got really good burgers.
Local store burgers top notch. A couple other places, Eurotaka Center.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have great burgers.
But we've heard a whole lot about Bingo's burgers.
Exactly. So I can't wait to try that out.
So that means you're going to have a burger when you're there.
I'm going to have a burger the first night.
All right.
So they have something else that I want to try.
What is
And I learned this from Jay on episode 42.
I know what it is. It's almost like dessert.
The Strobler drink.
Strobler, that's
Yes.
what it is.
See, you're an Irish girl, so of course you would say it's almost like dessert. But no, I've heard the Strobler is delicious, and to my knowledge, Bingo's is the only place in Aruba that you can get Strobler.
So, we'll be there July 12th for a Strobler around, what, 10 o'clock or so?
10:30, we'll say.
Meet us there for a shot.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's on Aruba Kurt.
What?
Just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding. So let's just name off some of the other restaurants that we're planning on visiting.
Yes. How about Tango's? You want to talk about Tango's?
Tango is one of my favorite restaurants in Aruba. Now, it doesn't get the publicity that I feel it deserves, and I get it. You know, it's a Palm Beach place. It's right on the Arawat Garden Strip. So, to a lot of people, they look at it kind of like the TGI Fridays of Aruba. But to me, it's not that at all.
No, it's not.
No. Tango, we stumbled into one night, and our first experience there wasn't the best.
No, it wasn't.
No.
But actually, we did meet our favorite waiter the same night.
Right. So this is how it went down. So we go to Tango's, and we sit down, we order. Now, this guy, this waiter, who looks just like Chris Daughtry.
He does.
So I order a special, and he tells me that the special is not on the menu. What are you talking about? I just saw it on the internet. You know, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
It has to be.
It has to be true. So I try and order it. He tells me it's not on there, and I didn't realize until after the fact that I wasn't looking for Tango Argentine Grill in Aruba. This place I was looking at was like in Missouri or something.
Yeah.
So he was completely in the right.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, left a bad taste in my mouth.
Right.
But what didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth was the incredible food that I had there. Because we just ordered like an entree to split.
We split one, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's not like us.
Right. No, not at all. So, we split that meal, and we were just like, hey, you know what? No. What you just brought us to split, you need to bring us each one of those.
Well, it was something like that. But we definitely ordered more after we tried that.
Right. It was a lot more polite than that, obviously. But you get the gist of it.
Uh-huh.
And ever since then, we've been going back. I mean, we've been there probably a half dozen times since then.
But really, honestly, the main reason we went back over and over again was the service.
Yes, the service is incredible, particularly if you get Roger, who is our favorite waiter in all of Aruba.
Actually, he might be my favorite waiter of all.
Right. Well, I mean,
okay. Let's put aside the fact that he does look like Chris Daughtry.
My favorite waitress is Katie, but she doesn't wait tables anymore. So we'll just that's Maggie's daughter.
However, I mean, the second time we met Roger, he told us, "Oh, I remember you guys," and I was like, I work in the service industry, and I know what it means to provide great service to a customer. So
basically, we thought he was BSing.
We thought he was BSing us. But then he went to mention exactly what we both ordered and where we sat the last time we were there.
You guys sat
right here. It was right here.
Right there. You
right
guys
where
sat
we were sitting.
Oh, and when he said, I think you ordered the ribeye, I was sold. Because, I mean, my BS meter is strong.
Yeah, there was no BS there.
No.
He really remembered us. And to be honest, I mean, somebody in Aruba who waits tables, they've got to come across, thousands of customers a year?
It's gotta be.
And for him to remember us and exactly what we ordered, that's the ultimate in service.
Yes. Can't agree with you anymore.
So even if the food wasn't top-notch, which it actually is in my opinion, because
no one else in Aruba that I've found does steak better. And I'm talking about just steak. I'm not talking about steak with a bunch of sauces and seafood and everything else thrown on top of it. When I want a piece of meat cooked well, Tango's my spot.
Right. And just so you all know, I'm not a huge seafood fan.
You're not a seafood fan at all.
Not at all.
No.
So when we go to restaurants in Aruba, I tend to order the filet mignon. I've had quite a few filet mignons at expensive places, at places that weren't all that expensive. But I still find Tango to be my favorite.
Right. I would say cost-wise, it probably falls somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. But beyond all that, there's the service. And that can't be beat.
Yes, exactly.
So moving on, where else do we want to go?
Did we mention Quinta del Carmen yet?
Oh, no, we haven't.
That is my favorite, probably my favorite restaurant in the island.
It definitely is yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we've been there, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, I think
three times. And every time the food has been just incredible. The service, for the most part, has been exemplary. The last time we were there wasn't as good as the first two. We were sat on the side as opposed to in the back, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. What did have something to do with it was the entitled table.
Yeah, the people around us.
The entitled table that felt that it was, their right to monopolize the waiters.
It was their restaurant night.
It was theirs. It was theirs.
There
was a table
their
of 4,
restaurant.
and you know what? The waitress needed to talk to them for 45 minutes.
Right. We understood that that's who they were, so we didn't hold that against our waitress.
No, they were that important.
Right. We didn't know them. Apparently, they were very important.
Right, A-list celebrities.
It must be.
But still, when she wasn't, being inundated with them, she was good. And
she did a great job of taking care of us, and it was.
Yeah. So Quinta still remains, at least for me, at the top of my list.
So where would you say is the new place that you're most looking forward to going to this time?
Okay, so we got a couple places on our list that I haven't been to yet that I'm looking forward to going to. One would be Terrazza Italiana.
Okay.
You know why? Because our buddy, Cheryl Talkoff, speaks highly of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I trust her and several other people, Robin, Cindy Otoski. Several people have just spoken highly about Terrazza Italiana.
And actually, the last time we were there, we tried to get a reservation and couldn't get one because they were booked up.
No, that's not why. So we tried to go there on Sunday, but they're closed on Sunday.
Yeah, that's how we kind of learned to pay attention to when places are open, because a lot of places aren't open on a Sunday.
Right, because we're entitled Americans, and we just assume that every place is open 7 days a week.
7 days? Gosh, you should be open till 2 a.m. because if I want to eat that late, you should be available.
Right, yeah, that's we're learning. We're a little slow, but we're learning. So Terrazza Italiana is a place that I definitely want to hit because I hear that they have some of the best Italian food on the island.
And we love Italian food, so we're going to check it out and let you know.
And the view, from what I hear, is just to die for.
That's right. So speaking of view, we actually had to build our itinerary around the fact that we wanted to be there during sunset.
Yes, definitely, because if you're going to a place that has a view like that, you don't want to waste it. You want to make sure that you take full advantage of everything that the place has to offer.
Right.
What else do we have on the list? I mean, there's some other new places that we have. Well, one new place in particular that I'm excited about that we haven't tried is Screaming Eagle.
Yeah, Screaming Eagle. I can't wait to go there.
Now, I think that's the place with the beds.
I think so, too. That's why I've always kind of been hesitant to go there because I'm like, I don't know about a bed and dinner.
Mm-hmm. But I mentioned Rob and Cindy O a second ago, and Rob and Cindy O tell me that Screaming Eagle is the place to go.
All right, well, we're going to have to try it.
But you don't have to sit in a bed. They do have other seats, too.
Okay.
But, you know, from what I hear, Rob and Cindy O, and also Volcano David, who I interviewed a few episodes ago. Mm-hmm. He also mentioned it. So, I mean, too many people have mentioned Screaming Eagle for us to continue to neglect
However, we haven't actually settled on Screaming Eagle. There are several other places that are in line with Screaming Eagle.
There are. I'm leaning towards Screaming Eagle. That's why I'm so enthusiastic about it.
Well, I would say we need everybody's help with these places.
Mm-hmm. So let's just name them off.
All right, go ahead. Screaming
Eagle, the Lazy Turtle, the restaurant at Tierra del Sol, which has a huge following, mm-hmm. Azoro, who my buddy KT, Christina Tessalano, swears by, mm-hmm. and Daniels.
Okay. So that's a lot of different options. So you can see, I'm sure a lot of you that have been to Aruba over and over again have a hard time trying to decide what restaurant to go to.
Dude, this is an island that's only 19 miles long that has something like 380 different restaurants.
So please give us a shout out as to one of them. But there are some other places we've definitely narrowed down, like mm-hmm. Casabari Cafe.
Yes. Once again, I got to refer back to Jay from episode 42. He swears by the Casabari. And we actually went to Casabari before.
We have been there, yes. Mm-hmm.
We've been there on the Kukunuku, and I had the rib. We both had the ribs, right?
I thought I had chicken.
Maybe you had chicken. I had ribs. It was great. It was phenomenal.
They were delicious meals. And everybody else that was there loved their meals that were with
mm-hmm.
us.
Exactly. So I think that we want to try the Casabari. What else you
got? We also have Texas Day Brazil, which we've been to before.
It's been a while since we've been to Texas Day Brazil, but it's, in my opinion, a great restaurant. I mean, it's not local food. It's not specialized food. What it is if you're a fat guy like me.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not fat. But I have an inner fat guy.
Yes, you do. You have an inner fat boy just screaming to get out.
Right. And when he sees an all-you-can-eat beef,
Brazil,
yes,
he jumps out.
He jumps out. And I feel like this trip, because I denied him on the last two trips, so I feel like on this trip, I need to release that inner fat boy.
Yes.
And I'm going to eat 10 pounds of beef at Texas Day Brazil, which if you've never been there, it's a Brazilian churrascaria where they bring out the different cuts of meat on huge skewers. Mm-hmm. So the gauchos, they bring out the huge cuts of meat on these skewers, and they slice off what you want. So what you do is you get a cardboard cutout.
A disc.
You get a cardboard disc. One side is green, one side is red. Whenever the green side is up, they're going to keep bringing you beef. When the green side is down and the red side is up, they'll stop, give you a chance to catch your breath. Now, they have not just beef. They also have sausage. They have chicken. Best part about not the best part. The best part is the beef.
I'll tell you what the best part is, but go ahead.
That their salad bar is so extensive. They have this huge salad bar that even if you're with someone that's not a beef eater or a meat eater, they can also have fun there because of the salad bar.
Right. There's plenty of options on the salad bar.
Exactly. But Maggie's going to trump me, so go right ahead because I already know what you're going to say.
They have a couple sides. Their potatoes are delicious. And I'm a little Irish girl. I'm a big Irish girl. And you know what? They got really good potatoes. Mm-hmm. So he can sit there and eat all the meat that he wants to. And I'll have a little bit here and there because I do like it.
Mm-hmm.
But man, those potatoes are to die for.
Yes, carb loading for the marathon that we'll run.
Exactly.
We'll climb Mount Hoover.
But the other part of the equation isn't only the potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Texas de Brazil, hands down, has the best sangria on the island.
Right. And I don't like to speak in absolutes.
It's an absolute.
This is an absolute. I've tried sangria in God knows how many places on the island, and I'm ready to put my name on this one. I'm ready to say that Texas de Brazil has the best sangria on the island of Aruba.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it might be the best sangria I've ever had.
It's up there. It's up there. I mean, unless you're talking about homemade stuff, which is a completely different scale.
Yeah, because that you make.
Right. So unless you're talking about that, Texas de Brazil is at the top of the list.
So if you like sangria, I definitely say stop in and try some. Get yourself
do it.
a pitcher for $45.
Do it.
It's worth the trip.
Did we mention Ricardo's on this?
No, we didn't.
Because we need to. Now, we've never been to Ricardo's. However, Ricardo's is impossible to ignore because everything that I see says that Ricardo's has the best karaoke on the island. I won't necessarily sing karaoke because my voice is horrible. Okay, it's not horrible.
It's not horrible.
But it's, but hey, I like to have fun. And when I get up there and entertain, people do
Your
like
dancing is definitely something that people need to see.
And I'm actually dancing right now. But you can't see it.
So when you add the dancing with the singing,
I'm an entertainer.
You are.
Yes. So Ricardo's is a place that we want to stop past. And what better way to stop past it but than to enjoy the happy hour, roll that into dinner, and further roll that into karaoke.
That's right. So karaoke is on Thursday at Ricardo's.
Mm-hmm. So we're locking that in.
Yeah, so once again, we had to build our itinerary around the fact that we wanted to do Ricardo's karaoke.
It's locked in?
Locked in.
Can't beat it. So, we looked at their menu, and it looks like something that we would definitely enjoy, so that's where we're going.
And we've had quite a few people recommend it.
Quite a few.
So, for restaurants, do you think we pretty much covered it?
I think we hit everything that we plan on trying. So, you got Ricardo's, Quinta, Tango, Bingo, Terrazza Italiana, Casa Barigro, and Texas de Brazil. Plus
and then
the Screaming Eagle.
We have the request for anyone to let us know whether we should do Screaming Eagle, Lazy Turtle, the restaurant at Tierra del Sol, Azuro, or Daniel's. Please help us because we just can't decide.
You can already see which way I'm leaning, but whatever you guys decide, that's what we'll go.
Let us know.
Right. So make sure you let us know on either the Facebook group, leave a comment on this podcast episode, whatever. Email me if you want, Kurt at onehappypodcast.com. That's Kurt with a C. Love saying that.
Okay, so now we said we basically...
Wait a second. Now, we talked about restaurants, but there are other places that sell food that we haven't talked about.
Oh, you mean...
Food trucks.
Because
trucks? I'm a food truck guy.
Yeah.
In fact, here in Delaware, about a week ago, they had a festival, and I think every day I brought home food, brought home dinner from food trucks.
They were delicious.
Yes, love food trucks. That's my jam. One day, maybe I'll move to Aruba and open up a food truck.
You don't want to taste his food. It's delicious.
I do all right in the kitchen. So the food trucks of Aruba, two places that I definitely want to stop at. I want to stop at the Tia Rosa snack truck.
Love the pistaches.
Love the patico. Both.
Anyway,
both are
definitely
phenomenal.
Gotta stop there.
So we're gonna go there. We'll probably stop there on the way down to
Baby Beach.
Yes, because it just makes sense. And another place that we have to stop every time we're down there, and I gotta thank Aruba Ray Allen for this.
Right.
The El Mexicano food truck, the taco truck.
They got good music there too.
They do have good music, even though they didn't believe me that somebody that was on the screen was related to me.
That's true, and
That's
it was
bold.
a true thing.
It was a true thing, but whatever. It laughed me off. I do the fish tacos.
I do the chicken.
You do the chicken.
Because I don't like fish.
Quesadillas and everything else. There's
everything.
Phenomenal.
And anything that they can put on it, I ask. Yeah, I want that.
Although you have to be careful because if you're not down with the spicy food, then it can be a bit spicy.
But I love the spicy.
Yeah, so the El Mexicano food truck and the Tio Rosa snack truck will definitely be 2 stops on our adventures.
Right. Definitely places if you haven't been to, you got to stop at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Aruba has so many food trucks to try out. So we're going to hit up a couple, and we're going to talk about it all on the post-vacation recap episode, which happens after we get back.
We don't want to talk about that right now.
No. We just want to talk about what we're going to do on our way down there.
Okay, so you know how we did talk about the fact that restaurants help us build our itinerary.
Mm-hmm.
We also touched on a few activities that also help us build our itinerary.
Right. We talked about Aruba Rays, which is going to be a big thing. I mean, we're going to that twice. And we also talked about the RF Pause for a Cause benefit.
I'm really looking forward to going there.
Yes, that'll be cool at Tierra del Sol. See our friend Cheryl.
Yes. Plus, we tend to go to the animal shelter several times, if not almost every day that we're down there.
Right. The Aruba Animal Shelter is now... We won't adopt. I mean, just to get this out of the way, we're not going to adopt
for now
a dog or a cat right now because I mean, we got a little princess who's strutting around here in the living room right now. who we won't put her in a position. She's getting older. We won't put her in a position where she has to get used to.
No,
a
she loves us and she likes all of
our
attention. And she's been used to having another dog and her sister another cat with us for a long time. But she's gotten used to being with us alone. And no matter how much I really, really want to adopt either a dog or a cat from there, I can't do it until Claire says it's the right time.
That doesn't mean that we don't like to stop down there and show those puppies love.
Yeah.
I would love to show the kittens love too, but you can't really interact
really
with
touch
them.
And hug them like you can the dogs.
Right. So the dogs, I mean, they steal my heart when I'm down there.
They do. And it's really hard for me not to want to adopt one. I mean, my heart breaks for them, and I want to bring them home. I want to give them all the love I can, and I just hope that they find a good home. But you know what? They're so beautiful, and they're so adorable. I know each one has to find a home.
That's right. And that's why we post pictures of them in hopes that people will see them and want to bring them home.
Yes. So please, if you're down there during the Pause for a Cause, buy tickets and attend because it really does help their
fundraising efforts. Let's be honest. It takes a lot of money to feed all the different animals that they help. So if you're someone that can help or if you're someone that's willing to help, please do. You can visit the ARF website. And
I don't want to push for other people, but we all spend a lot of money to come to Aruba. If we can just put a little extra money out of our pockets, it really does help those poor animals, and they really do need homes.
Yes, they do.
That being said, what are some of our other activities that we love to participate in?
Well, you mentioned Aruba Ray's comedy.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so we got some other things that we're going to try.
Things that we haven't done before, right?
Yes, we got all sorts of things. Okay, so for the past week, I've been watching my buddy, Christina Tessalano. I like saying KT. I've been watching her post pictures climbing Mount Hooiberg.
But we've been planning to do that for a while.
We have. But now that I've seen the pictures that she's put up, I'm like, okay, we got to do it this trip.
So we got to fit it in.
We have to do it.
Now, she also mentioned that if you're going to do it, you should do it later in the day or early in the morning.
You don't want to do it midday.
No, obviously not.
No, it gets hot, and you're climbing up hundreds of stairs.
Right.
Hundreds and hundreds. I don't know how many.
Right. So in our itinerary planning, I decided that maybe late in the day wouldn't be a good idea because you know what? We might not be in the healthiest shape, and the last thing I want to do is get halfway to the top of Mount Hooiberg and not be able to make it and be stuck there all night long until the next morning. We could die.
You could die.
So I'm thinking early in the morning would be a better idea.
Right, so that way people can at least find you.
Exactly.
Step over your body.
Exactly.
So Hooiberg is one of the things that we want to try.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to go to one of the different places that helps animals other than the Aruba Animal Shelter.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been trying for a while, and it ends up getting knocked off our list. But I think we just have to make it a point to either go to the ostrich farm or the donkey sanctuary this time.
Right, or even Phillips Animal Garden.
I know, but I'm kind of leaning towards the donkey sanctuary. They're so cute.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go to the donkey sanctuary.
Okay.
Check them out, take some pictures, feed them, maybe scoop some poops.
No, I don't want to do that. I just want to see them and pet them and say how cute they are.
I figured I'd throw that out there.
Now, one other place I definitely want to go, but I don't know a whole lot about, so you're going to tell me and tell our listeners.
Okay, what is it?
I want to talk about the Aruba Tastes.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the rum joint. And I'm not sure how new it is. It's relatively new from what I understand. I mean, the last few years. It's a rum shop over at the Orange Plaza, which is by Redfish. So a lot of people know Redfish. It's gaining a lot of popularity on the island because they serve really good food at local prices. So over there, you can sample like 100 different types of rums.
Are they Aruban rums?
I think they make all the rums themselves.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's even more exciting.
There's like I said, like 100 different types of rums.
So different flavors?
Different flavors.
Ooh.
And from what I understand, one of their most popular flavors is actually an aloe rum.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. All right. We definitely got to go there. I want to try every rum they've got.
And supposedly you can actually try every rum they have.
How much does that cost?
No. Completely free. Like, you can go over there and sample rums. Now, I'm sure they're really small samples, but still, if they have 100 different rums and you're trying, like...
little sips?
It's still pretty freaking cool. So it's kind of ridiculous now that I think about
They
it.
have Uber in Aruba?
It'd be Aruba.
Aruba.
So, I mean, what other places do you went?
Karaoke, because you love to perform.
I don't love to perform. Sometimes I feel like it's my duty to perform. Most of the time I can refrain, but, if there's a law, then I'm like, hey, you know what? Someone needs to make an ass of themselves. Might as well be me.
Right. So we've talked about some of the karaoke that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Ricardo's because we could actually have dinner there and then do karaoke afterwards, right?
Plus their kick butt happy hour.
Exactly, because happy hour always helps karaoke. There's also Matthew's karaoke on Wednesday, which we're going to try and attend.
Matthew's is cool.
And we love to go to Bugaloo's karaoke.
Yes. And it's something, I mean, everyone's been to Bugaloo's, but if you've been hiding under a rock in Aruba and you haven't been to Bugaloo's, they actually have a couple of waitresses there that have great voices, and they sing a lot. And
I'm waiting to see them on what is it?
Like American
not
Idol
American
or
Idol anymore,
The Voice
but
or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, they're
really good.
They have a lot of fun. It's really a fun place. In my opinion, it's the best beach bar in Aruba.
I agree.
So check it out if you haven't yet.
So there's also bands. Actually, we love to go to the Hard Rock Cafe.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a place that I would think I would have liked because typically I would avoid a place called the Hard Rock Cafe.
Right. Senor Frog's, Hard Rock Cafe, any of those places where you think, well,
Not my thing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But one night when we had absolutely nothing to do, we decided to go to the Hard Rock Cafe and had a great time.
They have tons of different drinks to choose from.
A lot of different drinks. Now, I'll be completely honest. The drinks are a bit overpriced.
They are.
But they're tasty.
They're tasty.
Unless
and
you order
they
that.
They give you enough alcohol in them to make them work.
They do. They actually weren't watered down. So, okay. So, if you overcharge me for a drink, that's one thing. But if you overcharge me for a drink and you give me enough alcohol in it, I'm okay with it.
Exactly. So we went in there one night. We were like, oh, these are cool drinks. So we tried some drinks. But actually, it was really fun to listen to the band.
Yes. And oftentimes they have really good bands. No, what was the one drink that I had? It was like, I can't remember what it was. Some type of mojito. Mm-hmm. Worst drink I've ever had in my entire life. It was like... Hibiscus. A hibiscus. It was a hibiscus mojito. Yeah, and that was freaking terrible. But it sounded... But I was already like 3 or 4 drinks. Actually, I was probably like 8 or 9 drinks in.
And it sounded good.
It sounded good.
You should have asked me.
Let me get exotic, you know. It was bleeping terrible. Terrible drink.
So don't go for the hibiscus or
Yes.
something that sounds like hibiscus.
Yes, I will bleep that out.
So we've actually seen Joyride before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we've seen Joyride.
Okay, and they do play at quite a
Few different places. They play at the, I believe they play at the Hard Rock at some, or at least over the course of us visiting Aruba, at some point they have played at the Hard Rock.
Mm-hmm.
They also play at the Boogaloo and probably a couple other places.
Have we ever seen the Equator Band?
I think we've also seen them.
I think we've definitely seen them right maybe during the end of a set at Boogaloo, for sure.
Exactly.
Okay, and then there's a new band playing, or at least to us, there's a new band playing at Boogaloo called Bamboo.
I'm not familiar with Bamboo. Now, I don't know how long they've been around. They may have been around for a long time. I'm just not familiar with them. But they play Friday nights, which leads me to believe that they've probably been around for a while because it's pretty
Yeah, who gets a Friday night at a well-established bar on a Friday night?
Right. You either got to be well-established or you have to be related to someone.
Exactly. So I think maybe we'll stop in and maybe check out a little bit of their show.
Why not?
I do love music.
Yes, we all. Who doesn't love music?
Some people don't. Some people like one style of music. Other people like another. Other people like another. So, it just depends on their style. So we'll stop in. We'll check it out. We'll let you know what we think.
Mm-hmm. Something that we haven't mentioned yet that I definitely need to check out is someone that was on a previous podcast episode who I think is just an incredible human being, does incredible work, and we visited her the last time we were in Aruba.
Yes, we did. I actually bought something from her.
Mm-hmm. Gabby,
yes, Aruba Hands.
Yes, Aruba Hands. She does shows all over the island, and to me, her artwork is just incredible.
Yes, it's beautiful. Actually, the last time we were there, when I bought a piece, I'm actually in the jewelry business. And I've worn it several times since I've been back in the States. And every time I wear that necklace, somebody makes a comment about it. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Where did you get it? When I explain how it was made and what it represents, because the necklace that I bought represents the sand, the sea, and the sky, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm sure that if I brought her jewelry back to the States, I could sell a ton of it. It's beautiful artwork. You should definitely check it out the next time you're there.
Yes. Now, when we're down there, something that we haven't mentioned yet, which is a huge deal for Aruba, the high winds.
Yes, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I definitely want to see it.
Now, we've been down there before during the high winds. It's the big windsurfing, kite surfing tournaments that happen down there because, Aruba is the ideal place for that sort of thing, clearly. So that'll be going on from July 9th until July 18th. So
we're definitely going to have to stop by and check that out.
Yes, and there's so many great places to observe that sort of thing down in Aruba.
Right. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot going on when we're down there. We have it mostly planned out. She has an itinerary where she has days mapped out and things like that. I'm more like make a list of things and we'll see how we can just fit them in while we're down there.
Yeah, I doubt he'll follow my plans, but it'll be close.
Yeah, we'll figure. There's a compromise that happens.
As long as I get to do everything I want to do, I'm okay.
That's what I'm saying. Make a list of things with check boxes, and you just check it off as you go along. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. I can't wait.
Yeah, so
a week from tomorrow, we'll be in Aruba.
Tomorrow, we'll be down there. And, this was the last of our 5-part series on planning a trip to Aruba.
I really hope they enjoyed it.
I'm sure some people did. I'm sure, it was pretty informative for some. A lot of people probably rehashed things that they already knew. But
maybe disagreed with us.
And that's fine, too.
That's true.
You know what they say about opinions? They're
what do they say?
They're like buttholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. Okay, so that might not have fit this particular
I've never heard that before.
Situation. Well, now you have. But no, seriously, everyone has an opinion. I would love to hear yours. So please do get in contact with me. Now, the next episodes that we have will be while we're down in Aruba, because I have figured out a portable rig. Not sure if I can edit from a portable rig. But even if not, I'm still going to be throwing stuff up there for you all to listen to. So make sure you check it out. Now, as for this episode, we talked about a lot. But if you missed something, don't worry about it. Because, as always, I took the notes so you don't have to. And they can be viewed at onehappypodcast.com/EP56. Now, onehappypodcast.com is the flagship for all things podcast related. So make sure you go over there and check it out. We got the show notes for previous episodes. We got an archive of past episodes, the resource page, and there's a newsletter that you're going to want to sign up for. Now, we're going to be getting the interviews rolling pretty soon again. So if you want to be interviewed on a future episode, make sure you get in contact with me, and you can do so by emailing me at Kurt@onehappypodcast.com. That's Kurt with a C. Or you can head on over to the website and click on the tab that says Share Your Story.
I suggest you do, because the first time I tried this, I was scared to death. But it's a whole lot of fun, and you'll definitely enjoy it.
Yes. Yes. I mean, so many people think that it's a lot more involved than it actually is. When it all comes down to it, it's a conversation between two people. All the technical stuff gets handled on my side. It's really just a conversation between two people
who love Aruba.
And that's all that matters. But I'm going to let you guys get out of here. So, until next time.
Hit the music.
The music.